Hello and welcome to episode number 46 of the Travel Calumet Original Podcast. I'm your host, Rick Sense, and with me today are Lindsay, Meyer and Louise, Marum. And if listeners have been paying attention to previous episodes, you know that they both have been on at least twice before, I believe. Is it twice or is it more than maybe 3 times now already?
I feel like at least twice. You're right.
Yeah, this may be the third.
Okay, all right. Well, Lindsay is the person who is the camping expert for the county. And Louise is the corralling tour groups of youngsters to learn about the geology of the county. Is that a fair way of saying it?
That's part of what I do, yes.
Yeah, part of what you do. Yeah. So, Louise, what is your actual official title here with the county?
I'm the naturalist supervisor here in the county. So, officially, I'm supposed to corral the naturalists. At the Nature Center, we do all sorts of outdoor environmental education programs for kids on school field trips and public also on the weekends.
Okay. And Lindsay, your title is?
Officially the Office and Program Manager for Calumet County Parks Department.
Okay. And Lindsay, I'm going to start with you first. It's such a beautiful day today as we're taping. For listeners, it's probably 65 degrees out. The leaves are starting to pop. The sky is nice and blue. It's just one of those beautiful early May days that you wish you could bottle and have for about half the year. Having said all that, that gets a lot of people to thinking about spending more time in the outdoors and camping, obviously.
Yep.
And now you have just a wonderful plethora of camping opportunities at the Calumet County Park here in I guess it's on Lake Winnebago, obviously, but it's, is it Stockbridge?
Technically, it would be closest to Stockbridge, but we have a Hilbert address.
Hilbert address,
Yep.
Okay. You got to always kind of ask those questions about that here in Calumet County. So you're over there, and you have maybe if you could just describe to listeners what you have available for campers as they're looking to possibly think of staying here in the county.
Yeah, definitely. So we have quite a number of campsites out at Calumet County Park, and they vary in amenities. If they have electric and water right along the lake shore, tucked back into the woods, we can accommodate anybody that wants to hammock camp, tent camp. They have their driving RV that they're bringing in for the weekend. We see people from all walks of life, and we have a lot of different opportunities right along the lake shore, which people really enjoy, and the sunsets are unmatched.
So are you able to handle basically any kind of vehicle or tent that people have out there to camp with?
Yep,
Okay.
pretty much. We've seen anything from like car or truck campers all the way up to 44-foot driving RVs. A lot of different units that come out.
Anything that tricky that people have to worry about navigating, or is it pretty easy to get through the park?
It's pretty straightforward. We recommend making reservations in advance, checking out our website. Our website for reservations is really handy. It has pictures of each of the campsites, can kind of help you navigate the park. All of our sites, for the most part, are back-in sites, so that's just something people should keep in mind when they're navigating where they want to be parked for the night.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of opportunities are there available yet right now for spring and summer season for people to camp?
Sure. So we're definitely starting to fill up. We've had, honestly, more campers this spring than I've really ever seen before, especially during the weekdays. A lot of people just want to get out and enjoy the lovely weather. That being said, we do still have a fair amount of reservations available for the spring, definitely during the week, as well as the summer. But if people are looking forward to camping this summer, we recommend making a reservation in advance. Definitely a lot of opportunities yet as we're getting towards fall as well.
Okay, and if I'm going to want to reach out and make a reservation, what's the best way for me to do that?
Sure. So you can either give us a call at the parks office, or you can visit our website, which is reservecalumet.org. Either one will get you to the same place, but we're always happy to help in the office. And if anybody has questions or kind of a off-the-wall answer or question, if you will, that they can shoot us a call.
And not to wish away the wonderful summer that's about to happen, but is fall available for camping out at the Calumet County Park as well?
Definitely. So fall is one of our most popular times for camping. The leaf color is always beautiful, especially right along the lake. We do also have winter camping available for some of the sections of the park, if you will, but we do have about a handful of people every month in the wintertime that come and enjoy the weather if we have a nice warm day here or there.
Mm-hmm. And what kind of special events do you have planned for campers this spring and summer?
Sure. So we have, not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, we have a seed mosaic magnet workshop out at Calumet County Park.
And those dates would be what? May?
That would be May 17th.
Okay.
Yes. May 17th out at Calumet County Park. And then every weekend following that, we actually have some sort of family activity, whether that's going to be tie-dye t-shirts or a scavenger hunt. We've done like bird feeders and suet making in the past. So every weekend tends to be a little bit different, but it's typically on a Saturday morning. It's very much so geared towards campers and their families, something for the kids to do, but it is also open to the public. So if there's people in the area and they want to stop down for one of the programs, they're more than welcome. Keep an eye on our website, the reservecalumet.org, or our Facebook page, which is just Calumet County Parks as well, and everything will be listed on there.
Okay, and there's a boat landing at the park as well.
There
That's
is.
correct. Okay.
Yep.
So there's an opportunity for people to bring boats along as well if they want to camp with their boat.
Yep.
And how and what do they need to do to let you know that that they're bringing their boat?
Sure. So we ask if people plan to bring their boat with them during their camping stay. We would ask that they give us a heads up. Mainly, there's an opportunity to keep their boat down in the harbor, which people really enjoy, not having to launch the boat every single day and what have you. But we are limited for space, so we just ask that they'd call the office, send us an email from their camping reservation just to let us know. Otherwise, what we see a lot of campers do is they'll bring their boat, launch for the day, go out fishing, and then head back to their campsite, bringing their boat with them. All depends on what people would like to do. What we've been seeing, which is really popular for people, is bringing either like a paddleboard or a kayak. We do have kayak rentals available down in the harbor as well, which the campers have really been enjoying. So kind of another opportunity aside from just camping.
So if people they're bringing their boats and kayaks and things like that, and you said there are rentals available, are there like personal watercraft that people bring, like the old fashioned jet skis, things like that? Are people still bringing those and using those?
You know, I don't see a lot of our campers bringing jet skis per se, but just the other day I saw somebody launching a jet ski, so I'm not sure if it's somebody that lives along the lake or if they were just hankering to get out on the water. It was a little chilly that day, but definitely a lot of different watercrafts that we see.
And could you provide listeners with an update of any of the projects that you've been working on out there at the park?
Yeah, so last summer, people were really excited to see that we were adding a south end bathhouse to kind of alleviate some of the strain on our current bathhouse. Park is ever busier than it has ever been, so that has really been an anticipated addition. That bathhouse is anticipated to open up sometime this summer, and we will also have a secondary dump station there as well. Currently, we're in the process of blacktopping our upper park road and then the road access by that new bathhouse as well. So that's been really looking forward to.
Okay. And what about those looking for access or accessibility? Would you have anything available to them?
So we do have two ADA accessible camping cabins. They have a queen-size bed as well as a sleeper sofa. They have heat and air conditioning and a fully functioning bathroom, shower tub combo, toilet, kitchenette, what have you. So that's really been a well-received new addition to the park. We see them booking up pretty frequently, but the nice thing is that they're accessible to everyone, so anybody can come out and enjoy them, even if they don't have a camper or want to sleep on the ground in a tent or what have you.
Okay. Louise, there's a lot happening at Ledgeview right now, and unfortunately, you have to wear a hard hat to enjoy part of it at this point yet. But there's exciting things that are happening. Can you just give maybe an update of what's happening out there for listeners?
Sure, yeah. Unfortunately, right, you do still have to wear a hard hat if you want to go in the building, which it's not open to the public. The renovation at Ledgeview is coming along really well. It was a winter renovation, and there were a few things that were unanticipated that were found along the way, so it has delayed the project a little bit. Right now, they're working on putting the siding on the outside of the building, so it's starting to look like a building again. Pretty excited to see that. If anybody goes hiking out there and sees the color, don't worry. The color will change. It's going to get painted. The siding, that's not the color that the building will end up being. But it's got a new roof, all new windows. It looks great from the outside. Because I'm not part of the construction team, I haven't even been able to go into the building to check it out. Mm-hmm. We have started spring caving and geology program a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
And because we're not able to get into the building, we have a temporary classroom set up in our old maintenance shed, which has been just great. The maintenance guys from Parks this winter cleaned out our old maintenance shed, insulated it, put heating and cooling in there, gave it a coat of paint, and there's so much space in there. We were all shocked the first time we went in there. We never knew the maintenance shed was that big because it was so full. But it's been working out really well as a temporary classroom. The kids don't mind. They're at a nature center. So the only thing is at the moment we don't have running water on the property.
Okay.
So that's, it comes with some challenges. We do have accessible porta potties set up, and we do have hand wash stations, but it's been a little harder for the kids to clean up after they've been in the caves this spring. So.
Okay.
But we're making the most of it. Okay. It's always fun.
Okay. And, obviously, we were talking before we started taping today that you were going through with some second graders today. So obviously there's been an impact, but maybe not as much on the school programming that's been taking place?
Right.
That's still happening?
All of our school programming, many of our schools actually book a year in advance to get a place for a date for their school field trip out at Ledgeview. So we felt strongly that we had to fulfill those obligations to our schools that had booked, and we're making it work. And there isn't a school that has come so far this spring that hasn't had a wonderful time, and they didn't mind at all that the building wasn't open. They're very understanding of it. Of course, the kids have to stay well back behind the fence from the construction area, but the rest of the park is open, the hiking trails are open, and we've been able to do programming exactly as we would if the nature center was open.
Mm-hmm. And you said the trails are open yet, and they were open all winter, if that's correct? So you've had a lot of activity. If you're not looking to go inside the building, it's pretty much standard operating procedure yet for everybody, right?
Yep, absolutely. The only difference is that, we don't have the indoor restrooms available for visitors at the moment, but as I mentioned, we do have 2 handicap accessible porta potties on site there. There's also the pit toilet building, but there's no running water in the pit toilet building. Okay. So the trails are all open, and it's a beautiful time to get out hiking at the moment. The spring ephemeral wildflowers are starting to come up in the woods with these couple of warm days that we've had. So it's truly a special time of the year to be in the woods.
For listeners who haven't been there before, can you maybe give a description of some of the things that you were hearing towards, like trails and woods, and can you maybe give just an overview of what's all available at Ledgeview Nature Center?
Sure. So the park itself is 105 acres. We have just under 3 miles of hiking trails in total. There's a 60-foot observation tower above a prairie, and the rest of the habitat there is mostly woodland. We do have caves on site, but those are locked unless you're down there with a staff member. There's also an old quarry on the site as well.
And how many caves are there in all?
There are 6 caves in total. 5 of them are located in one area, and then there's a single cave off a distance away from those other 5. But as I said, they are locked unless you're down there with a staff member.
And the quarry, can you maybe give listeners an idea of some of the programming that happens over at the quarry?
Sure. The quarry is where we run a fossil hunt for kids that come out on field trips. Sometimes schools will come just to do the caving program, or if they want to come for the entire day, they pair it with a fossil hunt program as well. So we do the caving for half the day and then a fossil hunt for a couple of hours in the afternoon. They are, it's an old quarry site, so the rocks that the kids are looking for fossils in are located on the floor of the quarry. We're not making them smash anything out of the walls. There's no explosives involved. There's Silurian fossils. Generally, the easiest ones to find are coral and clams and snails. Every kid that comes on a field trip to go on the fossil hunt does find a fossil.
Okay. Now, with the construction season happening, how has that impacted overall the programming for you, and how do you anticipate this summer going with the construction still happening? Will there be any impact, or are people going to be able to pretty much enjoy the center as they normally would? So
we don't have a date quite yet for when we'll be opening. In terms of the impact on the programming, our public programming has been impacted and will continue to be impacted through at least the first part of the summer. So Caveman Run is probably have to be unfortunately postponed this year? I would say that Caveman Run will be postponed, if at all, this year.
Okay.
But that's a decision that will be made by our Friends Group board. As far as public caving goes, we've had quite a lot of questions already about public cave tours. Generally, we would open in May on Saturdays for public cave tours. Whilst the building remains closed, we will not be running public cave tours on Saturdays. Now, if you are looking forward to taking your family caving this summer, we will be providing some opportunities on weekdays in August for public cave tours. We'll be running some in August. Okay. So keep an eye on our website and our Facebook page for when those dates come up. I can't say what will happen this fall. It's all kind of dependent on what happens with the opening of the building.
Mm-hmm. So in the meantime, you're actually hanging out a lot with Lindsay at the moment when you're working in office, which I know you don't do a lot of, but is
backwards and forwards, yes.
Yeah, okay. For the listeners, just so you know, is it about a 10-minute drive?
It's 20 minutes.
20-minute drive, okay. Yeah. 20-minute drive between locations. But Lindsay and Louise work closely on a lot of things and a lot of project work together as we go forward. So can you maybe give the listeners an example of some of the collaboration that you guys have done over the years?
So Louise and I coordinate on doing a animal program actually out at Calumet County Park for our campers. So Louise or some of the other staff that work at the Nature Center as well have come out to Calumet County Park on a Saturday and done a hands-on animal program for our campers, which has been very, very well received over the years. So that's...
And particularly at the moment, so Lindsay has been involved in our programming and teaches programming at the Nature Center as well, to have a point of contact in the parks office that can answer questions relating to public programming and school programming, whilst I'm on site at Ledgeview where we don't have an internet connection or a phone at the moment, we're collaborating daily on planning both staffing and programming as we move through the spring and into the summer.
Mm-hmm. So what's the one thing that you're looking forward to the most of having back, Louise, when everything's up and running and back to normal at Ledgeview Nature Center?
The one thing, water will be nice. But in terms of the new building, I'm looking forward to having a little bit less nature living in the walls of the Nature Center.
Okay.
I love nature, but we had nature living in the walls of the Nature Center before, so it'll be good to have a brand new space. And it's not a great deal larger than it was. I think we may have gained 1,000 square feet, but the utilization of the space and the overall design will be a lot more functional. It'll allow us to better serve the community in terms of giving programs in the future. So there'll also be a little more space for displays and exhibits. So I'm looking forward to developing some new and exciting displays for visitors to enjoy.
And if listeners want to learn more about Ledgeview Nature Center, where would you direct them, Louise?
Definitely go to the Calumet County Parks website, and then from there, there's a tab you can pull down to Ledgeview Nature Center. All of our information is on that website. In terms of our programming, our Facebook page is a really good place to see new programming popping up.
And Lindsay, what is the one thing you think surprises campers the most about the facility at Calumet County Park?
A lot of campers, whether they've seen a map of the park or pictures or what have you, are very surprised that we have the campsites directly on Lake Winnebago. Nearby High Cliff State Park, absolutely beautiful property, but the campsites aren't directly adjacent to the lake. So a lot of our campers are very surprised by that, or just how wide open it feels.
And if I would like to book one of those, how many years in advance do I need to do it, or are they readily available?
So now, depending on if you have a specific day or a very specific site that you want, it may be a little bit harder to get in. That being said, we do still have plenty of camping reservations and opportunities for the summer. We do take reservations up to 1 year in advance, though. So if you are looking for the very sought-after N13 is our most popular site in the park, that site does book up 1 year in advance. at 12:01 p.m. or a.m. That site would open up. So we see a lot of those reservations being made in advance.
All right, so if listeners are out there saying, how do I get on there? They basically have to just pay attention to the internet at midnight on New Year's Eve, correct? And jump on, right?
Well, and it's 1 year in advance from the date
Right.
of your stay. Yep. So
Yeah.
if you're looking to stay next May, you
So
can already
midnight
book.
of the 1 year
Correct.
mark. Got
Yep,
it.
yep.
Okay. Well, that's good to know if you're wanting to really, do your best to secure that spot. And you said the best spot is N13.
N13 is the most
N13.
sought after.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Somebody asked me now, I can tell them that too. So,
There you go.
Great. Could you maybe talk to listeners a little bit about some of the other public property, public parks that are out there within the county that they might want to enjoy?
Sure. So besides Calumet County Park and Ledgeview Nature Center, the county also has another property called Becker's Lake County Park. It's over near like the Potter Brilliant area. It's actually a beautiful property. Has a number of hiking trails on it. You have a view of Becker Lake. Very good for wildlife viewing. There's a plethora of different ponds in there, so you can see different like waterfowl and just different birds moving through. So that's very much a passive recreation facility. We also have Stockbridge and Brothertown boat harbors, also on Lake Winnebago, just south of Calumet County Park. So both boat harbors are very popular all summer long, as you can imagine. And then the county also manages sections of the Fox River State Trail as well as the Friendship State Trail, which are very popular for hiking and biking. We also offer some horseback riding opportunities on those trails as well.
Okay. Horse rentals anywhere, or do people have to bring their own horses? with them?
Definitely bring your own horse
Okay.
situation.
All right. Just always good to know.
Yeah.
So if listeners want to learn more information about what's available in the county as far as the park system goes, where would you direct them?
Check out our website, calumetcountyparks.org, and there's a number of different tabs on there depending on the facility, or you can get a trail report or information on the boat harbors or what have you. So our website is up to date with all of our recreation opportunities.
All right. Well, I appreciate you both coming in today, Lindsay Meyer and Louise Marum from Calumet County Parks System. You've been listening to the Travel Calumet Original Podcast, episode number 46. And if you've liked what you've heard here today, I ask you that you would encourage your friends to take a listen, and don't even hesitate to share them a text link if you would. That helps get the word out about all the wonderful, great things to see and do here in Calumet County. So thanks again for listening, and until next time.